guys, today I am going to share with you how a customer got me fired from my job. When I was 18, I worked at Ross Dress for Less. So I did customer service there. I was a cashier and I loved it. Ross was like, it's probably still my favorite job ever, except for the shady people who do crazy things. So one day this lady came in there and she did the whole little switcheroo money changing thing. Actually, she did two shady things, and she was very strategic in her methods. So she came in, I think it was on the weekend, so I just remember it being very busy, and so it was really busy. She came in there with like this bag full of stuff, bag full of clothes, and she said she had a return. So I was like, okay, cool. Do you have the receipt? She had a receipt. And this lady was like an older lady, not like extremely old. Like at the time, like I said, I was 18, so she could have been like 60 something. She had her clothes that she was returning like folded nicely and neatly, and the way she did it, it was like I thought she was trying to help me. So like, you know, the first couple of items, I'm taking them, I'm unfolding them, I'm kind of looking at them and everything and scanning them and putting it off to the side. And then she's like, oh, let me help you. And so I was like, oh, okay. And she starts grabbing an item and like showing me where the tag was to scan it. So because it was really busy and she seemed like a trusting individual, I guess, like I was like, okay, thank you for helping me. So it did go by faster, and that's what she wanted. So it went by faster and all of that. And so I had like this pile of things, gave her the money. You know, she had returned it within the time where you get cash back. So I gave her the cash. And then this is the second shady thing she did. She was like, oh, you know what? I mean, you know, maybe her change was like $40 or $50 or whatever it was. It was more than just one bill. So she's like, oh, you know what? Can you, I don't really want a 20. Can you give me back 210? So it's like, oh, okay, cool. And then she's like, you know what? Here's another 20. Can I have like a 10 and a 5? You know, like a 10 and 2 5s? And I'm like, oh, okay. So then she's like, you know what? Never mind. Can I have, instead, I want 5 1s or something. And again, it's really busy. I'm just trying to get her out of the line. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this lady is tripping. So the end of the night comes and we're, you know, the manager's there checking the registers and all that, counting the money. And so my register comes up short, and I think it was short like $100. And she's like, how do you come up short $100? And I was like, I don't know, like I can count. And like the only thing that I could think of was the lady that was trying to help me. So, you know, basically during that time she was able to confuse me and get me to give her more money than she actually had. So that was one shady thing that lady did. But in addition to that, you know, the first couple of items that I checked out that she was returning, they checked out. They were items from our store, and so we could put them back on the shelves. But the other ones were like, I mean, it was like some crazy ridiculous, like it was like some faded I love New York, faded I love Chicago, like tourist shirts that somebody would like wear to sleep. Like, I mean, it was just like raggedy clothes. So another thing, my manager was like, we can't even put these clothes back on the shelves. Like, how do we even use this? Like, you're making the store lose money. And I was like, oh my goodness, like this is my favorite job. Like I felt so horrible that I had let someone trick me like that. I was always customer service, like from the beginning. Like I always only did the register. And then they were like, you know what, we don't need anyone on the register. Like, can you go look in the fitting rooms and wait and like give people the little cards to go in the fitting room? And I was like, okay. And then like another time they were like, oh, you know what, we don't really need anybody on the register today. Why don't you just go on the floors? And I hated being on the floor. Like I think I did it twice. And the third time they tried to put me on it, I was like, nah, like, I'm not being on the floor anymore. Like I didn't want to sound like bougie or like, you know, like it was beneath me. But if you have ever been into Ross or TJ Maxx or Marshalls or something like that, and you see how people just The row closed everywhere and it's a complete mess. And when I was on the floor, I had to stay there past closing to fix all the hangers and make sure they're all facing the same way, and make sure the little tag things on the hangers were on the correct sizes. 10 minutes into the store being open, people just don't care. They just throw stuff everywhere. So I refused to be on the floor. At first, I was probably working like 4 or 5 days a week. Then it went down to like 3 days a week, and then I'd go in and check the schedule, and like that was the only bad thing I had done. I mean, I love that job. I would always come dressed nice. I would wear makeup. I was very friendly to people. And then like I looked on the schedule again. I only had like 2 days on the schedule. And then like one day I just showed up and I went back there to look at my name and I had no days that week. And I was like, Like I didn't even like go and talk to the manager or anything. Yeah, I was just not on the schedule anymore. And so I was just like, all right, well, I guess this job is done. But it was okay because I had another job and that job paid more money. I actually stayed at that job for 4 years, and it was very, very good income. And I actually met my husband there, and we got married after that, and now we have MJ, so it all worked out for the better. So I hope you enjoyed hearing this story, and if you want to hear more stories, let me know. I have an idea of like 2 different stories that I want to share. Like I might share them both, but let me know what you want to hear. Do you want to hear about the time that I was stalked in the airport and was followed to Houston? Or do you want to hear about the time where I ate ants? Let me know in the comment section which one you'd like to hear first, and I will get that out for y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching. Bye.